Alright guys, now we just got the MT03 Devourer Haikelite on turbo mode. Pretty standard. I'm in somewhere that's a little bit more narrow, just so you can see how good it lights up everything. All the way over there. Pretty damn good job. You'll put the light out here, you'll be able to see it. I'm just going to move up here a bit. Doing a really good job. Super bright. Yeah, so this is the MT03 on turbo mode. Over 10,000 lumens actually. So yeah, if I show you up there on the trees, you'll be able to see it really good. So Haikelite, I rate this at 8,760 lumens for my version, but it's actually, when I've done my ceiling bounce test, I got over 10,000 lumens, and now it's been tested again. It's also got over 10,000 lumens from the second test, so you can see it does do pretty well. You do have to use super high drain cells to get that much power, but we'll keep that in mind. Maybe it was focusing before, but there's too much fog here. So on the camera it doesn't show up like 100% the best, but it lights up this whole field, and this is 3 Australian football fields big, plus extra length on each side. This is quite a far thrower. It should be able to get you almost 400 meters of throw, somewhere around about there. There is a lot of fog right now too, so you really got to account for that. But I'll move down in a sec, show you somewhere different. Once this light steps down, I'm going to wait for it to step down to the 5000 lumen mode. Then we'll move over somewhere else. Let me hold it up high. It's starting to get warm, but not too warm. It's about 21 degrees Celsius here in Sydney. It's amazing like how much light this actually is. It's incredible. Still no step down, actually. It's pretty good. Can't believe how much dust is in the air. Alright, pretty sure now that that's stepped down. Let's move over to somewhere else and we'll take it for a spin. Alright guys, this is the full review of the Haikelite MT03 Devourer, somewhere around those lines. Basically, yeah, I'm going to muddle this up a bit. I'm going to put, well, by the time I've already done this, you'll see beam shots first, and then you'll see this. So you miss out on looking at my pretty head today. So basically the MT03 Devourer comes with a triple XHP70 N4, either in cold white or neutral white. It's up to you. The neutral white is a 5K tint at 80 CRI. So if you're a tint freak, I would suggest going with that variant there. Uses an aluminium alloy body with hard anodizing type 3 with a black finish. So basically, if you can see this now, it is like a pretty dark light. It's more matte black but not shiny because it is hard anodizing type 3. Anti-reverse battery protection, so you don't blow yourself up. Side switch, electronic switch with big transparent rubber boot. So basically the side switch is here, and it's transparent because it's got a blue light. You guys can see that there. It's off and it's on. You see that there, it's fairly bright. I'll make a note to put that when we go outside. So aluminium OP reflector, orange peel style textured reflector. It is pretty deep. I have noticed a little bit of a difference between this and other brands. All the other brands of the triples that I've seen, the middle is concaved, so the middle has like a gap where all these kind of join. But on the MT03, these are all kind of single, which kind of gives it a little bit different beam pattern compared to those other lights. Those other lights are a bit more floody. This is still a dedicated flutter, but I think it should be able to outthrow a lot of the other lights, because the beam, it's all separate emitters. Ultra clear double-sided AR coated glass lens with 99% light transmission, just the usual. That's the AR coated there, you should be able to see it at that angle. Double O-rings with IPX8 waterproof. Yeah, the O-rings are massive on this. With standard tripod hole, so you can throw it on your tripod if you want to do that. Comes in handy because this thing is fairly heavy. Max brightness 9000 lumens. At startup I measured mine to be at about 10,000 lumens, then obviously it kind of drops off after the initial brightness. If you can keep the light cool, you might be able to keep it a little bit higher than 9000 lumens. Haikelite's official reading the cold white is 8760 lumens, so close enough to 9000 lumens, but it does start a little bit higher than that, obviously, at about 10,000 lumens. That's on my ceiling bounce test, so it's not an official light box test. Neutral white is 7560 lumens, so you can see you're losing about 1,500 lumens between the tints. So it's up to you whether you want a more neutral white or whether you want cold white and get the extra power. The cold white isn't that bad anyway, as you'll see in the video. Brightness level, so low mode, so simply click to turn on. That's low mode there, and you push and hold to change modes. The first mode, low mode, is 10 lumens. So it's called low, but technically it's a lower mode, or ultra low or something. I don't know why Haikelite named it low. They could have just named it ultra low. So 10 lumens. Low mode is 150 lumens. Middle mode, which is this mode here, 1000 lumens. High mode, 2700 lumens. Turbo mode, 8760 lumens. So that one there must have been turbo, which was 8760 lumens. The lowest mode runs for 10 lumens. Yeah, it runs for 10 lumens for 28 days. Low mode is the 150 lumens for 35 hours. Till the battery reaches 10%, then voltage protection will kick in. The over discharge protection. Middle mode, the 1000 lumens, you get 550 minutes. High mode, 2700 lumens, 350 minutes. Turbo mode lasts for 2.5 minutes each interval. Then thermal control step down to 5500 lumens for 2 minutes, and then it thermally steps down again to 1800 lumens for 3 hours and 30 minutes. So yeah, the time temperature step down there. Its net weight is 610 grams without the batteries. With the batteries, it works out to be about 860, 870 grams. So fairly heavy. Length is 12.7 centimeters, so 127 millimeters. Head diameter total is 72 mils, so 7.2 centimeters. And the body diameter is 50 mils, so 5 centimeters. Basically, I forgot to mention, it's got a hidden moonlight mode that you gotta push and hold to turn on, which should be on now. That's moonlight mode there. You can see the LEDs, they look nice and cool like that. That's only 0.6 lumens, which lasts for 58 days. What else? That's just about it. I'll quickly take you guys through the UI, which I've already showed you. So single click on, then you push and hold to change modes. Also, you can double tap from any position to get to instant turbo. So that's instant turbo. And push and hold to moonlight mode. It does have an electronic lockout, which I have been trying to play with, and Alright, Haikelite say to click and hold to lock out, but that's wrong. You've got to double click and then hold to lock it out, which I just triple clicked. So okay, that just unlocked it there. So if we do the same, it'll be technically it's one push and then another push to hold, kind of. So you go 1, which I just done wrong because I didn't do it fast enough. Then it'll blink. Alright, now as you can see, it's in lockout mode, and you got to do the same to unlock it. That just blinked, so now the light will turn on. I actually just learned that myself. You can undo the tail cap just to manually lock it out. So this blue indicator, it'll stay blue but just on when the power is between 100 and 50%. Once the power goes between 50% to 9%, the blue LED will flash twice every 9 seconds. So it acts as a voltage indicator too. And below 9%, red LED flashes twice every 10 seconds. The flashlight will flash fast and step down to moonlight mode. So the actual LEDs will flash really, really fast and they'll step down. That's pretty much everything. I'll just show you what it came with. So that's the came with the torch, obviously, some spare O-rings like so, and this lanyard. Nothing too special, but it does the job. Now we'll quickly take it apart. Up the front here, double silver coated springs. This is the connection terminal. Obviously that's positive, that's negative. You can see the battery tube fits in pretty deeply into the head. It does have the stainless steel bezel, which makes it look nice. This uses 2 serial and 2 parallel style setup. So you're going to get 8 volts at the front and double whatever battery amperage that you have. So if you're using 3000 milliamp hour batteries, you'll double that, so you'll get 6000 milliamps total. That's the tail cap there. You can see springs on one side and tabs on the other side. These tabs, they're okay, but they're really particular with the batteries that they use. If they're not semi-raised cells, but you can't fit button tops in here, so they have to be semi-raised, they're not really going to make contact because this is hard, it doesn't bend. So I'm not sure, like, you just got to try your luck with your cells and choose the right ones. My LG HG2 cells, they do work, but sometimes I might only be running the torch on 2 cells. You can see different thicknesses, so you can't accidentally put the batteries in the wrong way around. Sorry, you can't accidentally put the tail cap in the wrong way around. So this is free spinning, so when you tighten it, this will stay still, and you'll tighten the tail cap around the body while this stays still on the batteries. There's your double O-rings there. There's double O-rings at the front. You can see the threads here, they are cut okay, but they're a little bit rough, so you can see the anodizing has come off. Haikelite did put on heaps of grease when they gave me this light, so maybe they knew the threads were a little bit, you know, how's it gone? It's not bad, but they could work on that a little bit. Otherwise, besides that, those 2 slight issues, we'll call them both issues. The light performs perfectly. I've got no issues with it, no problems. Technically speaking, if you can keep the light cool, and if you run it on 4 cells, you should be able to get 40 to 45 minutes of total runtime out of this light. On the highest mode, on the 9000 lumen mode, you should be able to get that much out of it. I think it's a nice looking light for the price, $129 US, so it retails for $129 US. I think it'll be hard to beat price to performance wise. Alright guys, I'll just take you through the modes. This is the lowest mode. You can see it's on there. Next up we'll have low mode. You can see that's a pretty massive jump. You can already see that tree there. That's about 10 meters away or so. Next will be medium mode. That does light up a lot more. See, even though this is a cold white tint, you can still see it looks fairly neutral. If you're looking at the branches and the leaves, it looks like pretty green and lush. That'll be high mode now. About 3,000 odd lumens, somewhere around about there. Doesn't appear to be like that if I just shine it straight, but if I shine it down here, you can see like how much light that really is. It's an awesome amount of light. And next will be turbo mode. That'll be turbo mode there. See, even if we shine it up here at these trees, because of the tint isn't too cold white, it doesn't look way too bad, even though it is like way too bright for this area. Let's give it a little spin. Alright guys, it's a bit narrower here, so you'll be able to see the beam a little bit differently. You can see in this narrow space how bright it is. It's like crazy bright. It's like daytime here. I don't think I can actually get through in this part of the fence. I'll move around the other side. Alright guys, MT03 to the left, the Haikelite, and to the right I'm going to put the Nightwalker 25 MB. So left is the Haikelite, right is the Nightwalker. You can see together that they absolutely demolish this field like crazy. Look at that, it's awesome. You can see the Haikelite is a lot brighter. It does also throw the light a lot further. You can see the hot spot a lot more in the Haikelite. So that's the Haikelite there by itself, and then this is the Nightwalker here by itself. So you can see the Haikelite to the left, Nightwalker to the right. Even though they're a little bit hard to distinguish, you can see that the Haikelite is a lot brighter. And it does throw a lot further too, because those trees at the end are about 200 meters away. The Haikelite's hitting it pretty cruisy, and the Nightwalker hits it, but not as good. Pretty big difference in beam profiles here and performance. Alright, now I'll put the Convoy L6 on. And it's a neutral white tint, and I'll put the Haikelite on, MT03. Convoy L6 is to the left here. You can see it does throw the light a lot further. Well, I wouldn't really say it throws it further, but it throws it easier. And that's the Haikelite to the right. So L6 to the left, Haikelite to the right. Obviously not much comparison here, because the Haikelite is over twice as bright, and you can tell that it is. But I thought it would be pretty interesting just so you can see what a normal bright light looks like compared to a super bright light. So left is the L6 and right is the Haikelite MT03. You can see the Haikelite kills it, easily kills it. It's pretty interesting, but you can see the difference in the tint. But if you don't mind losing a few lumens, you can also buy the neutral white tint for the Haikelite MT03 if you're into that. I would personally, I'd rather the higher output than the less lumens. This is just the MT03 by itself. It's starting to flash now. I think the batteries are starting to wear down a bit. Shouldn't affect performance too much yet. Alright guys, just the MT03 by itself in some bushes. You can see there how well I lights it up. It's a little bit easier to see when you're kind of looking at something. Makes it a bit easier. Alright, does a really good job here. You could spot out like anything easily and perfect. Alright guys, our last test is car headlights on high beam. Not sure how many lumens that is, but you can see there it is on high beam. It's maybe 2000 lumens max on high beams, I guess. I'm not sure, it's halogen bulbs, so it's a bit hard to tell. And the Haikelite MT03 on turbo mode. You can hardly even see the high beams now. The high beams do have a bigger reflector, so they will throw further, even though it's not as much light. Very different beam pattern, of course. If you could put a XHP70 inside headlights and then like get it to be positioned right, that would be like crazy amount of power for those headlights. You'd be looking at xenon HID power headlights then. Super bright, this torch. Alright guys, this has been Chris from Everyday Survival Gear, bringing you the Haikelite MT03 Devourer. There's a group buy going for this light on BLF, so I'll link you in the description so you can go to BLF and check out the group buy. It is discounted at this price, so at the discounted price, it's going to be a great buy. So at any price, it's a great buy, because it's coming in a lot cheaper than the O light, and it's about 1,500 lumens brighter. So this price will make it even better, so I'll leave the link in the description. Go check it out if you want to buy one. And as always, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching guys.